Welcome to Conversations with Ann Elizabeth, the podcast inspired by my book, I'm a Registered Dietitian, Now What?, where I have the absolute joy to sit back, relax, and have a conversation about nutrition with a variety of people who share their personal story of passion and purpose, especially registered dietitians. Today, I am reconnecting with my student side and having a conversation with RD-to-be Sarah Dahms. Well, we're back into 2018, and I think back to, a couple years ago when I wrote my book, and I think about my podcast today with an RD-to-be, and she is one of those people that I wrote this book for because there is so much that I didn't know when I was a student that I needed to know to be a registered dietitian. And that's why I want the world to be able to have those resources to know and be confident of what they can expect when they're actually after their internship and becoming a registered dietitian. So if you know a student or if you know an RD-to-be that would love and benefit something from this book, please let me know. Reach out to me at annelizabethrd@gmail.com, and I would be happy to get in touch with them and get them a book. As I'm doing my podcast today and other things around my house, I'm sipping on my favorite kombucha, or as the cool kids call it, I think they call it booch. And it's from Moku Health. And right now, the Maca Goji Mojo is what I'm sipping on. And I swear I haven't gotten sick yet because of this drink. Seriously. There is no vinegar taste at all. And it comes in individual packets that I can take with me and just add to any water that I'm drinking, which is why I like to take it with me to work or when I'm traveling. It's perfect. If you want to give it a try, go to mokuhealth.com, MOCU Health, and enter in the code ANN20 for 20% off your order. You won't regret it. It'll be your favorite kombucha. Today, I'm connecting with my student side and having a great conversation with RD-to-be Sarah Dahms. You all know by now how much I love dietetic students and interns, and I really want to stay in touch with that time in my life because I think being at that point and being ready to be a registered dietitian is such a crazy time. I think it's important to be a mentor to those individuals and to help them navigate the beginning of their profession. Sarah and I met through Instagram, and I admire her for all she does as a busy RD-to-be. She is very active in the student component of the Texas Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which is something that even I didn't have on my radar as a student. She supports and connects students all over the state and helps other RDs-to-be obtain opportunities to help them with their future. Please enjoy my conversation about where it all begins as an RD-to-be with Sarah. Share all your experiences with me and our conversation today. So you're a senior at Texas Christian University?
It's Texas Women's University,
University.
Yes,
okay.
In Denton, Texas.
I know it was in Denton. Mm-hmm. I actually had a friend that used to live there a long time ago. So yeah, I'm like, I actually know where it is and what you're talking about. Have you been there the whole time for your undergrad?
Well, for dietetics, I have. So that would be the past year and a half. But I've done a lot of transferring. So I started at a community college, just to take my basics. And then I transferred to the University of Texas in Arlington, for nursing. And then I spent a couple years there and then decided that I wanted dietetics, and UTA did not have dietetics. Texas Women's was very big on dietetics. So I transferred over here.
So you originally you wanted to be a nurse. That was kind of your main goal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. My main goal was really to be a doctor, but that kind of slowly declined.
Kind of similar to me. It's like once you got into those science classes, it was like, oh, yeah, well, maybe not.
No thanks. That's all right.
Yeah. So how did you kind of stumble upon dietetics then?
Oh my goodness. When I was going to UTA, like I said, I was going for nursing, and I just felt like I was really struggling with those sciences, but not necessarily because I didn't like it, but just because I was just trying to do it, just to do it. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't find any joy of going to college or I didn't have any friends at school. I really didn't try. And I ended up I ended up started looking at different nursing programs, and Texas Women's was one of them. Texas Women's so happened to require an intro to nutrition class, in order to apply for their nursing, whereas UTA did not. And so I was like, well, just in case I don't get accepted at UTA, let's have a backup plan. So at my last semester, I took intro to nutrition. And I fell in love. I was like, this is what I want to do. I saw a video of a medical nutrition therapist, pretty much a dietitian, who had a patient come in and literally throw all of his pills on the table with all kinds of health issues. And the dietitian pretty much healed him from all of those health issues through nutrition. I was like, I want to do that. I don't want to be in this medicine. I want to do that. So that's when I kind of just fell in love, and I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. And literally at the end of that semester, I dropped everything and I changed schools. I changed jobs. I changed everything and took a leap out to go to dietetics, and it's done nothing but be amazing ever since. So
did you find the joy in going to college then too, after you made that switch?
Absolutely. It's so funny. I tell people now that I used to be very introverted. And not necessarily because that's my personality, but if I don't really have a care, I don't really invest my time or energy. And I didn't in school there. And when I went to TWU, I was like, I'm going to change. Like, this is my new college atmosphere. I'm going to actually invest time. This is going to be my redo. And so when I went there, it's like I got involved in the Food and Nutrition Network, which is just their student program there at TWU. I just started seeking ways to get involved, and all of a sudden everyone's like, what? You used to be an introvert? Like, we can't get you to stop talking. Yeah. And I have so many friends and so many networks, and I love it. I love the experience. I'm taking way more classes than I ever have, and I'm just thriving because I love it. I just really enjoy it. So.
Well, that's exciting to hear. And that's exciting. I think that's a great message, because you're talking, like before, when you were in college, you weren't very vested, and you just weren't feeling it. And now that you found something you really love, it doesn't seem like it's difficult to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always thought, because I never stopped college, I always was going to classes, and I'm like, I do care about being successful. I really do. And I have this end goal of having a successful career, but what's wrong with me? Why aren't I doing well? And I was always worried that why is just this not for me? Am I just not a book person? I don't understand. And then it was so amazing for me morally, because I could actually see, wow, it wasn't just me. I just wasn't where I was supposed to be yet. So.
I love that. I do, because I completely resonate with you on that, because that's exactly how I felt until I took that intro to nutrition class. I swear it gets so many of us every time when we're taking our sciences, and then we stumble across that one, and it's like, oh, it's like a red light goes off, and it's just, you just know that's where you should be. So what have you liked? What is, when you're sitting in your classes and you're doing all the different things that you're doing to prepare for your internship, where do you find yourself kind of being pulled towards? What kind of things do you like?
It's crazy, because when I first started, I had no idea what I wanted to be, but I knew that there were a bunch of different options that I could choose from. I've always kind of desired to be an entrepreneur, to kind of have my own private practice. However, now that I'm learning more and more, I'm finding that I really like education. I really like promoting nutrition, education through especially social media platforms, because I feel like it's so popular right now. Never did I think that that's where I would want to promote things, but I'm finding myself almost loving marketing of nutrition through Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. And so I kind of see myself just being an educator, and my dream is to have my own private practice one day and just kind of develop my own brand and I'm leaving the doors open because I have no idea. I know hearing everyone's stories that it starts one way and it changes. So I'm trying not to narrow myself down to one thing. Just keep an open mind and let whatever comes come.
And that's so good. That's such a good message because you're right. It never starts out the way it ends up. Well, obviously, even with you in school, it didn't stay what you thought it was going to be. So, and I think I like your idea of the social media aspect and having that presence to educate, because I think that is a huge area where dietitians are really starting to make an impact.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That was
and
one
you can
thing.
Be part of that.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Even as a student, I feel like I'm able to kind of shine a little bit and it's exciting. But yeah, that's one thing that I was looking into because I did all kinds of research as I transferred. And that's actually how I stumbled upon your book and you, which is amazing. But I was just looking for all kinds of inspiration of dietitians and yeah, I don't read. So I read your full book. Okay. That means a lot.
Awesome. That's awesome. I love to hear that.
Yes, very inspirational. So I had to do a lot of research and I found that dietitians are really growing, like you said, on social media. They have blogs. They do Instagram, and so I randomly, well, it wasn't very random. I started, my very first semester, I took a food prep class and I don't cook either. Like I don't know anything about cooking. It's terrible. And I think I offended my food prep teacher when she asked about everyone's cooking experiences because I was like, I have none. I'm not interested. Like I just don't. I was like, my mom's tried, been there, done that. It doesn't work, but
it doesn't work.
No, but I fell in love with this class because I learned all the basics of cooking and how fun it is. And I fell in love with taking pictures. I think I like that more than actually the cooking part is taking the pictures of it.
Pictures.
Yeah. But, and then I love just learning how to make them healthier. Well, so I would be so excited when I got home that I'd want to like tell everyone about it on Facebook, like my family and everything. And so I'd end up having these like paragraph long messages on Facebook about what I learned about nutrition today in cooking class. And so it's like, you know what? I need to make a blog. So I was like, most dietitians are kind of sharing that information through blogs. So I just like, let's do it. So, and it's just,
you have your own blog. I don't know if I'm following your blog. I need to, what is your blog called?
My blog is called, Oh, hold on, Ann. Now you threw me off.
It's like calling your own phone number. Yes, you don't quite remember what it is.
No. Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. It's called InspiredFutureRDN.com.
Okay.
Yes. So, like I said, it just kind of started with me just sharing what I learned in class today. And then every once in a while, I'll have time to make some fun recipes and I'll post that. So I haven't spent very much time on it as I should throughout the senior year because I actually got, because of it, I got asked to run the blog for the Texas Student Dietetics Association. So I'm running their blog also.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So mine's kind of has been a little bit neglected this semester, but I definitely have ideas for it. It just needs to get put out there.
Well, that's okay though, because you are, you're going to school too. So you're trying to multitask a lot, but now it sounds like you've kind of turned into a cook. Like you weren't before, but now you kind of have embraced it and you like it.
Yes, I actually really enjoy it now. I don't do it very often because I'm busy, but I really enjoy it. And I think because I'm kind of a perfectionist, I just want to create some creative stuff. I don't want to do just the normal everyday thing. So when I do go to cook, I have to do something very unique and rare rather than just throwing something out there. So takes time.
Well, do you kind of feel like even with running the blog for your student group that it's a great way to tell a story about some type of food or some type of nutrition concept?
Oh, absolutely. I actually just ran a survey about our blog to see kind of what people are interested in. And I've just found that I love looking at people's dietitians' blogs to see kind of their opinion on nutrition concepts. And So I think that's an awesome way to kind of share it. And to be honest, a lot of nutrition concepts, I believe, are very personalized. Like, it's kind of how you feel, what you've related with. And so it's really fun to go say, hey, what does Aunt Elizabeth felt, and go look on there about what you kind of think about that, and it kind of gives you everyone's personal perspectives. And yeah, we've definitely used that a lot on our blog. We've interviewed dietitians, students, interns, and we've done some recipes. So we try to put a lot of different things on there. So
that's good. That's good. That's something that I didn't really have when I was going to school. So I think that's a good way to just kind of get exposed to more things when it comes to dietetics.
Absolutely.
When it comes to like your student organization, tell me more about that. Tell me more about what your group does and how you support RDs to be and help educate and get them ready for everything in the future.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a part of the Texas Student Dietetic Association. So I'm actually the historian. So I do a lot of their social media presence and their blogs. It's kind of funny because they wanted us to actually change the name of historian this year because they're like, that doesn't fit you. You're more of a social media kind of, that's your title. And I'm like, yeah, but historian is very classic, it's history. So, I feel like our day and age, we really are reverting to kind of storing everything online. And I love it. And I think that, a lot of people can relate and see it. And it's a good way to reach out to a lot of people. But, so what we do is we pretty much share, like we have the blog, we share a lot of, interns. We have interviewed interns and dietitians on kind of what they've gone through their internship and what kind of different aspects they have. We try, because we're over Texas, which is a very big state, we try to get a lot from all around the state input to see kind of, if you want to go to A&M or if you want to go to Texas Tech in Lubbock or TWU in Denton, it just kind of gives you a perspective of each intern there, and also some dietitians that have come from those schools and where they are now. So that's been really neat and how to get them involved. I also am a part of the Texas Academy. So the Texas Student Dietetic Association is the students branch of the Texas Academy. So the Texas Academy is a branch of the Academy. And so I actually individually kind of got involved in the Texas Academy my intentions was to branch the Texas Student Academy to the Texas Academy a little bit more, as a student. But I actually am doing area liaison. So I kind of help create events in our area. I'm in the Northeast region. And so I try to create events in this area for students to network with dietitians. And so that's been a big thing. And I feel like because of my involvement in the Texas Student Dietetic Association, I get to kind of broadcast it even bigger on a bigger scale and reach more students to be involved in even how to create events in their area to get more involved. Because I think dietitians really love helping and really love talking and really love, they really love sharing and helping students, especially and interns and fellow dietitians. I think that it's an amazing profession in that aspect because they really want to help and want to be involved and so I feel like we have so much opportunity in this field to really learn from them as students. And so that's something that I've learned and tried to kind of help this semester is to make events and help other students to create their own events to form networking opportunities and learning opportunities to be with other dietitians.
Oh, so that's awesome. Yeah. What kind of events have you done?
So just recently, it was probably the biggest event I've had this semester so far. Myself, I coordinated a speed networking event, and we we had about 16 dietitians, and we might have more than that, but I think we had about 16 dietitians, that students came and they got to sit one-on-one with them for like 5 to 7 minutes, kind of like a speed dating thing.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. And so the first couple minutes, the dietitian shared, who they are and what they've done, and kind of their spiel on their career. And then the student had the opportunity to ask them any questions that they wanted to. And so we just did that in November, and it was amazing. It was a really good turnout.
That is very creative. I like that idea a lot because that's a huge platform to ask a variety of dietitians what they do and how they could help.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because when I first started as a area liaison, they kind of said, well, you just create events. And I'm like, well, how do I do that? You know what? So I just started thinking about what would I want? And I feel like they've had a lot of awesome opportunities for you to go, to happy hour with dietitians, which is fun, but students get kind of intimidated by that. They kind of segregate to themselves and hang out with each other, and the dietitians kind of hang out with each other. I've kind of noticed that's how it goes. And then in larger events, then dietitians are getting their education credits, and students just kind of are there. And so I'm like, what can be more personalized for students? And they've even had table events, which I think is awesome, also, or roundtable events. But I feel like that's an opportunity for the dietitian to speak a lot, and then the students don't get to ask very personal questions. So I thought this was an awesome opportunity. I was like, what would I want? I would want to talk to you and ask you my questions, just have you meet me. It was awesome because we had a Benny Keith dietitian. We had a diabetes dietitian. We had a sports dietitian. We had a college education dietitian. And we had so many different private practice. Everything. And so it was amazing. It really was fun to and it's funny, from my experience, I saw culinary and I'm like, I don't know if I really would have anything to ask her. And she was the one I most related to when I sat with her. And I think that was the most beneficial of the whole event, is even if you may not think that you would relate, the things that they've done, you have no idea. And it could really be an awesome opportunity for you. So that was a lot of fun.
That's and I think it's kind of like a little mini introduction to your internship, because then you can that's kind of what you do in your internship, is you kind of try out a whole bunch of different things, and then maybe there's something out there you didn't even know existed. So
exactly.
That's a really good idea. So you'll be doing that again, or someone after you will be maybe doing that again. Yes,
it's funny. I had some students that were there, but from a different area. They're like, we want to do this in Fort Worth. I was like, okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was like, that's awesome. So yeah.
We might have to take that. I might have to take that idea back to
Absolutely.
Iowa and do that with our, because it's just another way to reach out to our student population, because you guys, we all are on the same team. So we have
Absolutely.
to keep making those connections for everybody. Well, that's great. So how did you get involved? I know that when you get involved, it's kind of hard to find out what to do and how to do it. Do you recommend dietetic students to get involved in the way you have? Because obviously that's led to a lot of great opportunities for you.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. It's crazy. In school, they always encourage you to be involved, that it's good for your resume. It's good for your internship. Get involved anywhere, anything, get it done. And so I knew that I needed to get there. And it's so funny, at the end of last year, since I knew I only had 2 years at TWU, I had to really do something. And I wanted to. Yeah, but I was like, I need to. I ran for 4 different officer positions and 4 different organizations, and everyone was like, aren't you already doing that? Are you crazy? What are you? I'm like, I have to do something. Yeah. So crazy enough, I got denied. I did not get picked for 3 out of 4 of them. And I went home crying every single time. And I was so sad. But I did get picked for one, and it was probably my least desired one because it was what I least knew about. And it was the Texas Student Dietetic Association. And it wasn't necessarily because it's not a big deal. It was because it was bigger than what I was familiar with. So I was wanting something at TWU at my school with students I know, whereas Texas Dietetic Association was bigger. It was something that I wasn't as familiar with. And so I ended up getting that. I was like, okay, awesome. I don't know what to do with that, but all right, cool. Like I have something. And oh my goodness, it was such a blessing in disguise because that has allowed me to not only, share with other students on all these social media platforms that I'm familiar with, but because of my relationships that I built from people around Texas, not just at my school, I was able to connect with even more people that got me the other position that wasn't the student area liaison coordinator position was not a position. I got asked to take over the president of TSDA. She asked me if I would be interested in being an area liaison. And because she no longer wanted to take on that role. So I said, of course, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Cause now I get to actually work hands on with dietitians in addition to being in this student position. And so once I did it, I got to talking to, the head of the Texas Academy in the Northeast region. And she was like, well, we really want one student liaison to kind of coordinate all of the students. We want to promote more student involvement. And I was like, okay, I got it. And she's like, I want you to kind of come up with a list of, what that position entails and what will be done. And I'm like, okay, done. And I was like, so I brought her this list of what I can do, what I will do, what will be expected of this position. And it was created and it's been amazing because because of that, I now am on, the list of among the Texas Academy, region director, all of the leadership people, dietitians, I'm on there. I'm like,
you're
oh
on
my
that
gosh.
list with them.
Yeah. I'm like, wow. And I was so sad before because I didn't get those positions. And then I got offered something way bigger and it just led me to get involved with dietitians in our area and actually be hands-on with them. And then not only work with them, but also promote it to students and help other students to get involved to do the same thing as well. So, I would totally encourage every student to get involved. That's what my position has been to be, is to help encourage involvement. And because it's amazing, the people that you meet, the networking. At first I was like, I don't know who to get a recommendation from. And now I'm like, who do I choose from? Because there are so many.
You have so many.
Yes. And I don't want to toot my horn. I'm just saying the opportunities are amazing once you get involved. And so I would encourage that completely.
It's so true. And I think when you think about the people that you meet along your journey, it always comes back at some point. I know that people that I met at the beginning of my undergrad somehow came back and helped me get a job 10 years later, which was crazy because you would never think that would happen. But I think you have the right mantra when it comes to being involved and just putting yourself out there and meeting as many people as possible and making as many connections.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. It's been exciting for sure.
And I know, like, as a student, you're probably like, I don't have any time for any of this stuff, but you need to make time, right?
Absolutely. People think I'm crazy because I work full time as well. And I don't,
tell me, you need to tell me about that.
Yes. People think that I am absolutely insane and I still look at myself every day in the mirror. I'm like, how is this happening? I don't understand how it's all just working though. So I'm not going to complain, but yeah, so, I decided to move out. Well, I've always been a full-time worker. I've always worked through school. I think it started kind of getting the opportunity to work. And then it just became, I was used to working. I was used to making money. And so I have to have a job. And recently I moved out of my parents' house. And so I was like, now I have to work. It's not an option. It's no longer a choice. I ended up getting well, I had worked last year. I was a server at Olive Garden, which made great money for, the time as a student. I think any student who's been a server can attest to that it's the perfect job for college students. So I was a little bit nervous kind of going out of the box because I knew I needed experience in dietetics. I knew I needed to get that job experience. And so I ended up going to a hospital to work as it was a room service ambassador is what it was called. And essentially I took trays from the tray line and brought it up to the patient's room and delivered it. And so that was a great experience and something that I thought would be my job until I was done. And, after about 5 months of doing that on my feet for 12 hours straight, not being able to study, I realized it wasn't going to work out as a student. I was not going to be able to finish that strong with that kind of position. Although it was a great opportunity for my resume and for experience, I enjoyed it. It just wasn't ideal for the time and money that I needed. So I started looking around and crazy enough, I found this job working for Medifast, which is a weight loss company. It's similar to a Jenny Craig. So where they sell the meal plans. And I work in the call center as a customer service representative. So I have my own desk that I get to sit at all day long on a computer and I do my homework all day long. It is amazing.
That's amazing.
Yes. It was definitely oh my goodness. It was amazing to come across. I was very nervous because it's one of those jobs that they expect you to work full time, but they have so many hours available that I was able to really work my schedule into it. They're open very early in the morning to very late at night and are open on the weekends. So I had a lot of options to create my schedule. And so they said, as long as you give me at least 32 hours, I will be okay. I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out. And surprisingly enough, being a full-time student, I have made it work. And I don't think it would work with any other job other than this, job that I get to actually sit down and I answer calls when they come in, but I do homework while it's slow and they completely support that. So I'm definitely.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh yeah. It's amazing.
Good for you. So it is possible. It is possible.
It is. You got to search hard, but it is.
Yeah. You have to make some other sacrifices here and there, I'm sure. But
yeah.
So now you've been accepted into your internship?
I have not yet. I am applying right now. Yes. Okay. So I'm in the midst of applying. It's very stressful and exciting all at the same time, but I'm trying to decide where to apply and what to give them. And so, yeah, thankfully I started early. Since I did so much research coming into the field, I already knew what to expect. And so this past summer, I spent all of my summer just working on the personal statement and working on the resume. So that way, when I got into it, I could actually just make some minor touches here and there. And then come December, I can just make sure I have it all together. So that's what I'm kind of working on right now.
When is that? When is it due for you?
It's due February the 14th, but I am hoping to have it all done hopefully by the beginning. Yeah, way before that. That's too stressful to wait. So yeah, no. Yeah.
Do you have your internships kind of narrowed down to where you want to apply?
I do. I've been bouncing back and forth on what I want to add recently, but I know my top ones. So.
Well, good. That's half the battle is fine. Cause there's just, it's like, what do you want to focus on? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Do you want to leave where you live? All those things come into play and Absolutely. Cost and all that kind of stuff. And it's the perfect time to find what you really want to do.
Absolutely.
Are you venturing outside of Texas or are you staying in Texas?
What's funny? I do not want to leave Texas, but the one that I am interested in applying to is in Iowa.
Is it really?
It is. Like it's meant to be.
That is hilarious.
I know. It's because the University of Iowa has a distance option so that you can, or an international option. So one of your rotations can be to go to Paris. And why would I ever not want to do that?
Yes. Right.
So that is definitely an idea.
That I have had, one of my interns that came and worked with me did end up doing that rotation and loved it, that it was amazing.
No way.
So yes, he thought it was a once in a lifetime type of experience. So if it's on your radar, you definitely need to maybe pursue it, because I'm kind of jealous. I wish that would have been available when I did mine.
Yes, I know. It's so funny because I have so many options here in the DFW. There's so many. And I have the option to not even leave my own school, which is kind of what I'm aiming for. But for the one to venture out, I'm like, that's worth it. That's totally worth it.
Sure. Well, if you happen to come this direction, you know I'm here. At least you know one person in Iowa.
I know. It's definitely bucket list. Visit Anna Elizabeth.
Well, and when I think about, you do your internship too, it's always scary to kind of, do you kind of feel like it's a little bit scary to kind of choose one that isn't more in your comfort zone, like in your home state?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Just thinking about going to Iowa makes me nauseous.
Well, yeah. I mean, besides Iowa, but.
You're right. But yeah, no, because I've lived here my entire life. I was born in Fort Worth, raised here. I don't know any different, but that's also an exciting thing, is the options to leave. But all the ones I'm applying for is going to be here. So I have no really desire to leave, but I think that it's a good option. It's a good opportunity if I do.
Well, and I think the cards will fall where they should, because it sounds like it's kind of happened that way for you throughout your career so far. Things have kind of worked out. And I think wherever you land, you will be fantastic and you will love it. So, and you can always go visit other dietitians in other states that interest you at any time. So
absolutely. Absolutely. I'll go to Paris some other time.
there's dietitians there if you really want to go see what they do. But
right. Exactly. Yep. It's exciting, but it's definitely nerve wracking. But I'm like, you know what? Just hold on tight. Here we go.
Yes. And then, but as you blink, it'll be over. So it's amazing how that. Yes. Absolutely. Definitely enjoy it now. Mm-hmm. Well, and I'm excited for you. It's been excited to watch your journey so far on the social media, which is where we've connected, which is also a fantastic place to meet other dietitians. So it's always fun to look at all the things that you do as a student and as a future dietitian just for our profession, and that you're making an impact. So just know that you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. I can post so much, but to know that somebody's actually watching it is really awesome.
Right? Yep. Someone's actually watching it and reading it. And it's out there. So someone is. You just sometimes don't get the feedback that you wish you got.
Yep. But it's coming. Thank you so much.
So you kind of feel like your future is going to be kind of having your own private practice and kind of doing education through, just marketing and social media. So I feel like after you get done with your internship, we'll have to schedule another podcast and we'll make note of what you said prior to your internship and see if it changes. See if you're still kind of thinking that's the direction that you want to go and where you end up. So
I would love to see that for myself as well. Like, where will I go? Yeah, it's super exciting, but so nerve wracking. Crazy.
Sure. Well, and as dietitians, as type A personalities, we like to have a little bit more control than we do when we're doing our internships. So
I want to have it written down. I want it all planned out. I want to know exactly where I'm going, what I'm doing. Let me start working on it.
True. It's so true. Well, and I think it's great. You're a great model for just students that are out there. Sarah is very active within her organization and obviously for the whole state of Texas, which is a big state and lots of students. So I can't stress that. I think that's a great place for people to be in that Student Dietetic Association and with your state affiliate. So good job on that too. That was something that wasn't on my radar when I was going through school. So I think that's a good thing for everyone to get involved.
Absolutely. I'm seeing it just even this past year. I've just seen student involvement growing, and the fact that dietitians are seeing that they want to get students more involved and help the transition be easier. And I think that's amazing and a great opportunity for us as students. So I'm excited about it.
Well, good. And I'm sure you have something to do with that excitement a little bit. So you can chalk that up to yourself too for being involved.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you.
Well, since I asked some of your tough questions, and then when we do our podcast in a year, I think we'll just mark it down for like next December. We'll just probably check in with each other and see if we need to do round 2.
Sure. Absolutely. That would be amazing. I'm probably going to go through so much this next year. So it will be crazy.
You will. I can't wait to follow Instagram and see how that all goes.
Oh yeah. That's where I go to post it. So you'll know.
Good. Well, I have some fun questions for you.
All right.
What is your favorite food?
Oh, is chocolate a food?
Sure. Absolutely. It's its own food group, I think.
I know as a dietitian, I shouldn't say that for other dietitians to hear, but yeah, no, chocolate.
Chocolate. Perfect. Do you have a favorite beverage or a favorite drink that you like?
Oh my goodness. My drinks per day consist of 3 drinks, and that's it. I drink coffee in the morning, water, and Coke Zero.
That's what your fuel is.
Yes, that's what my drinks per day are. It's probably not the healthiest Coke Zero option, but hey, it's what gets me by.
I feel like you probably need the caffeine to get you through your busy days.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite scent or a favorite smell?
You know, all of my candles, depending on what season it is, they always have marshmallow in it. It's so funny.
Do they?
Yes, I don't know why, because the marshmallows don't really smell all that good, but all of my candles, I always love that sweet marshmallow scent. Whether it's marshmallow pumpkin, marshmallow fireside, marshmallow vanilla, I don't understand, but yeah, it's marshmallow. It's gotta be, I guess.
If anybody wants to get you a gift, get her a marshmallow candle.
Yes. There you go. It's very easy.
Perfect. It would probably make me kind of hungry if I smelled marshmallow stuff all the time.
Oh, so good.
So good.
Yeah.
What brings you joy in life?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a deep question.
It is a deep question. That's how I end it. I always stump you guys at the end of the podcast with what brings you joy.
You said earlier were the hard questions. I think these ones are. Well, he said not to talk about him, but I'd have to say my fiance, Forrest.
Aww.
Definitely is the one that brings me the most joy every day, gets me through all this crazy mess I go through. So, yeah. It's one time to shine. Yeah.
Well, that's great. You're engaged too during all this. Oh my gosh. You're a rock star.
Yeah. We'll see if I make it next year.
Well, and it does say a lot though when someone's there with you along the journey, because you do need that other person that's not a dietitian to help you just navigate.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. It's definitely been what's helped me get through for sure. I've needed that support system. Yeah.
That's great. When are you guys? Have you set a date?
Oh, every time we do, it gets postponed because of school. So
sure.
I finally just decided, you know what? We're just not going to, we'll be married one day, but we won't worry about it right now. So
yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. Yeah. You've got plenty of time.
Yeah. Once I graduate, hopefully we'll get there. That'll be my graduation present.
There you go. Yep. That'd be a good party.
Yes. A great party.
Well, thanks so much for taking time. You probably need to go study. So I should probably let you go.
Yes, finals week.
Yeah, it is finals week. You did say that. So, well, thank you for taking time out of your busy week. And I look forward to part 2.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Sarah is such a rock star. I know we are all students at one time, and I think we look back and are really shocked by all the things we do while we are trying to get an internship. She works full time. I cannot believe it, and I admire her for that. I also admire how determined she is and is truly following her dreams, and that's exactly what our profession is all about. As I'm sipping on my kombucha, I seem to always have a Nick stick not too far away, which seems to happen quite often. Nick sticks are the best tasting snack sticks that you can find, and I love the lean protein I get from eating this portable snack. There's no MSG, there's no nitrates, no antibiotics, no nothing. All the goodness, none of the garbage, and a good source of protein. To learn more, go to nicksticks.com. Head on over to AnnElizabethRD.com, where you can read my latest weekly wisdom blog post. I probably have some interesting things that happened over the holidays that I share some of my current crazy adventures. It might involve food, workout music, things that are motivating me to get buff, really delicious and real deal recipes that I have created, or something that I love right now. You can also purchase my book, and you can find all of my previous podcast show notes and links to things that we talked about during each conversation. I would love to connect with you on social media, and you can easily find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at AnnElizabethRD. Remember to be great always, find the joy in each day, and to start a conversation that truly matters.